Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. My mission is to show you or empower you to find financial freedom through crypto assets. If that sounds good, hit subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. You're going to need to hit that bell because YouTube is hiding our videos more than ever. They don't want you to have this super secret crypto information, which is obviously what we give. Secret information no one else knows. Bitcoin's down today. So we're going to be taking a look at the markets. I'm obviously up here in, obviously, if you can't tell from my hotel room, I'm in Indianapolis for the national championship game. Go Dogs. We found out we're staying in the official Alabama fan travel hotel. So that's been real fun. Yeah, nothing better than that. So hopefully we're going to get the W today. Bitcoin, it had a little bit of an L, but maybe it's going to take a W by the end of the day. We'll have to take a look. But yeah, Bitcoin has taken a major drop today. It went down below $40,000. Not great, but we did talk about how 39,000, and we're going to look at the charts here in a little bit, is a very important number. So let's go ahead and get started with the video today. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We're at 770,000 strong there. 2.7 million on TikTok. 300 no, that's not right. That is an old number. That's an ancient number, actually. See the new number here, 407,000 followers here on Instagram. We make good memes there. You guys can check that out. And Dad Jokes for the Win, where I take personal photos. I added a new photo yesterday. Me and my two boys at the championship game here. Excited about that. So, all right, let's look at the markets here today. See what's going on. Not a lot of great stuff here. And guys, I do want you to understand, like, it's not time yet to panic. It is not time to panic. I got a message this morning from someone asking me if I had sold everything. No, we don't make decisions like that around here. We don't make decisions based on one move of the market. We talk about things and we lay out scenarios. And there's a very important scenario that we need to look at when it comes to the charts, but we have not reached that kind of pivot moment yet. We haven't reached it, but we could be approaching it soon. So looking at the market cap here, coming in at $1.93 trillion overall. We are now well below $2 trillion. The volume, 93 billion, which is up from, early last week, down over the weekend. Bitcoin dominance back above 40.7%, above 40%. ETH dominance dropping 18.9%. And look at those Gwei numbers. Wow, it's going to cost you
Insane.
138.5 Paraguay to send an ETH transaction right now. It's a lot of Paraguays.
Yeah, it is.
Something interesting. Last week, we noticed with the Bitcoin dominance numbers that we went down below 40% for the first time. Okay. But we also looked at how it was so strange. It was something we had never seen before, where the Bitcoin dominance number dropped, but altcoins weren't pumping. There was no volume there. Don't we also think it's interesting that basically all 3 days that Bitcoin was under 40% dominance last week, the Bitcoin dominance chart on CoinMarketCap was broken? Did nobody think that was a little strange?
That was strange.
Just want to throw that out there. Very, very, very strange. You could not look at the actual Bitcoin dominance chart on CoinMarketCap until it went back above 40%. Very strange. All right, looking at the price right now, we got Bitcoin coming in at 41,600, basically a $2,000 bounce. It was back at 42K just a few minutes ago. Ethereum back above 3,000. Golly, I don't even want to know what that thing went down to. Pretty much nothing in the green today. Let's look at, some stuff in the green. Cosmos still continuing to run, but down from all-time highs. Near protocol up 13%, continue to do one. I don't think we have any near protocol, do we?
I'm not sure.
I don't think we own any near protocol.
That
was a mistake.
Yeah.
Kadena up 5%, but all the way at $9. Everything's down so much. It's so sad. Do you guys feel sad when you look at the markets? Dash up for the week, which is pretty interesting. Let's look at the weekly numbers. I think that's probably more interesting right now. Curve down 30%, Gala down 30%, Loopring down 27%. Axie 26%, 25% for Nexo, Aave all the way down to $200.
Well,
Wow.
just
What a terrible run.
while you're looking at that, we'll go ahead and jump on the Q&A, because one of the first questions we got was what would you be buying right now today if you were looking for entries based on some of these dips?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's an easy one. If we look at what's down for the week,
Mm-hmm.
Gala Games steal at 30 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a great price. Look here's the numbers I'm about to give you. I'm going to be looking at coins that I believe in for the long term, have been running great recently, and are on huge downswings. Okay, Gala, Loopring, Axie Infinity, boom, 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 right there. I mean, those are three really good ones. Keep coming down this list. I mean, Terra's down 22% for the week. That certainly feels like a good buy. Sandbox, Avalanche, Cadena. These are ones that are down massively right now that I'd be looking at. So we looked at, I think we looked at this on a video the other night. Sorry, I still haven't gotten back to my nightly videos. Guys, the market's just been so boring. It's been hard to come up with good stories. But we're gonna, as soon as I get back from out of town, we will resume those. But what I would tell you is that right now there's just not a lot of super positive stuff going on in the market. So even though we're looking at these coins that could be good buys, and what I was going to say is that we looked at a story last week from Cointelegraph about how the most consistent coins for the entire year last year were Axie Infinity in Sandbox, and I can't remember what the number two, but those were two of the top three. So those are in Loopring. That was another one that was on there as well. So when you see these down massively, they've been predictably on an upswing. But if we truly are in a bear market, which has not been confirmed yet, then everything's going to continue to go down. So it's just kind of a situation where you're looking at good prices compared to all-time highs. But if things did continue to fall down, then that's not saying that's the last great entry price you'll see. So,
okay, next one shouldn't be a big surprise. Question we've been getting a lot last couple days: are we in a bear market? Yes or no?
well, I mean, we'll look when we get to the charts. We'll look. Basically, if we go down below 39,500, we could be in big trouble. If we go below 39,500, we would be looking next at about $37,000, and then after that, we'd be looking at about $30,000. So we would lose the entire run that we had over the fall. It would all be gone, and we would be right back to where we were from the May crash. So as long as we hold 39,500, though, like things should be fine just from a technical basis.
Yeah. And I will say to anybody who's asking that, you always have to, and I might sound like a broken record because I say this all the time, but you always have to define the time span you're talking about. So, like, if you look at Bitcoin as a whole, it's been bullish since the beginning of its existence. It's always moving up and to the right since it started. If you look at a 1 year basis, a 2 year basis, 3 year basis, 1 week basis, 3 month basis, you'll get different answers on bearish and bullish in all of those time frames. And another, just to mention, I don't know if we have any XRP stuff, but we might want to. Jeremy Hogan had a new tweet out about timelines on the XRP case and some breakdown of that, so we might want to jump into that tomorrow. But let's get some charts.
Well, actually, no. Tomorrow we have a TokenMetrics roundtable, so we won't be covering any news tomorrow.
Well, maybe if we have some time, we'll check that at the end of this show.
Well, I can pull it up right now.
There you go.
I mean, really, guys, this is what we're holding on to at this point, which is, XRP case ending could be the bullish catalyst that we need. But we'll have to see what happens here. So is this the tweet right here?
Yeah, it's a bit, I didn't get a chance to dig through it, but.
Was somebody just talking about it in the chat?
Yeah, they just mentioned it in the chat. Supposedly there's some timelines in there.
Yeah, I don't really, just looking at it, I don't see anything that, exactly of a timeline here. So I know Brad Garlinghouse said potentially in January. We do know we have that one date coming up this week, which I think is January 15th or 16th. I think it's the 15th. That'll be Friday. That is, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's a big time, point in the timeline. So, all right, now look, let's go to the charts. Let's check out Bitcoin right now. And I want to show you guys something. If you look here on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, going back to the beginning of 2020, you'll obviously see a lot of volatility. And then down here, you will see basically where we've been in. Since the middle of November, we've been on this gigantic downswing, okay? And you got to admit, it does look very similar to this, which where would this put us right now, okay, in the timeline? Maybe about 4 weeks left. Maybe we'll have something like this where it bounces back off of 40 over the next 4 weeks. Because this here was essentially a double bottom here. Wasn't quite exactly. But here you go back and you look and you see, this had this here and this here, and then 4 weeks of this, and then it came back up. Could potentially be looking at this if we ignore the larger, macroeconomic situations going on with the Fed being so hawkish, talking about, interest rates. I mean, there certainly is a scenario that does exist to where when we get a little bit closer to March, the Fed delays the decision and says, "Oh, just kidding. We were going to actually wait until the middle of the year." That is a scenario that does exist that could potentially, see some more bullish action on the stock market. But what I really want to show you guys is look at the Nasdaq. I mean, this almost looks like a fake chart.
Wow.
Right? If this were a crypto project, this would be the most suspicious looking chart I had ever seen. The more like a staircase a chart is, the more proof of manipulation that exists. Nothing moves up slowly left to the right like this. We looked at several projects back in 2020 that were DeFi projects that had charts like this, and I told people run. And every single time it was a rug pull. So when you look at what happened here, all of 2021, this is quantitative easing that is pushing it up. But here's what's really interesting, okay? What's really interesting is when you look at the chart here since, guess when? The middle of November. The middle of November, this is what we got. Middle of November for Bitcoin is right here. Middle of November on for Nasdaq is like this. The Nasdaq is right now under the EMA ribbon. And the last time it was like this was during the pandemic crash. So it's all very fishy what we're seeing right now. But here's what I want to say about Bitcoin versus the stock market. Bitcoin, since the middle of November, has basically followed along with the stock market. That is what has occurred. We are not looking at anything that's been super negative for Bitcoin. Everything has been super negative for markets together. And, the narrative is always, Bitcoin is a hedge against the traditional markets, but that has actually not played out that often. What actually occurs is that when the markets crash, Bitcoin bounces back much better and much further than other coin or than other assets out there. But when the entire market crashes, Bitcoin crashes along with it. And especially when it gets towards, the part of Bitcoin cycle, which should be moving. As Bitcoin dips below $40,000, there is a death cross looming in the charts. This is a very scary word. This is basically, this is where the 250-day moving averages cross. And as you guys can see, this is kind of what it looks like. But this is known as a lagging indicator. So even though this is known traditionally as a bearish move, for Bitcoin, we haven't really seen this. I mean, the last Bitcoin death cross we saw was back in, let's see, it was in the middle of June for Bitcoin. And you guys can see that we did go down a little bit after that, but that was actually before the big run up. So this isn't really anything to be that extremely bearish on. Here's something that was very interesting. Bitcoin crash ahead. Expert warns inflation could whip Bitcoin price to $30,000, which is extremely interesting because Bitcoin has always been seen as a hedge against inflation, right? And so the more inflation goes up, the more we should see Bitcoin go up, except for when that inflation is crashing the entire economy. That's the caveat here. So it says here, the markets widely expect the consumer price index, or the CPI, to rise to 7.1% for the year through December and 0.4% month over month. This surge highlights why U.S. Federal Reserve officials have been rooting for faster normalization of their monetary policy than anticipated early. And I got to say, no matter what is going on with the price of Bitcoin, whether it goes to 100K or whether ironically we actually, 2 years ago predicted the top of the market in November, which would be a really crazy scenario where we've been thinking we were wrong the entire time, but we would have been wrong about the number, but right about the situation. The deflation is coming. I mean, if people cannot see this with what's happening right now, I don't know what to tell you. The deflation is coming. The month-over-month numbers are getting relatively smaller compared to what they were last year. And if inflation continues like this, it's going to wreck the entire economy forever and destroy the American economic system. That's not going to happen. It's too important for the world economy that does not occur. Alex Krugman said, Bitcoin is now a macro asset that trades as a proxy for liquidity connections. As liquidity diminishes, macro players now in the fray sell Bitcoin, and all of crypto follows. So we'll have to continue to watch about the interest rate hike. And I already talked about this. Bitcoin dips below 40,000 as Wall Street opens in the red. Just real quick to show you guys the daily chart for Nasdaq. Let's see here. This is the daily chart. That's brutal right there. I mean, this is the stock market. This is a huge drop. How big of a drop is this?
Yeah, they're not used
this would have been January 3rd. An 11.3% drop for the stock market.
In 1 week?
That's very considerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's big. Feels like that thing could be topping out. But, this is, I guess this is a good thing for Bitcoin to say would be, the stock market probably has got one last run in it. I think they're going to try to find one more way to squeeze this thing before March. If they know March is this interest rate hike, then there may be something they do between now and February to get things going back in the right direction for one last time so they can sell at top. So that's something to keep in mind. If the stock market, if there's some kind of giant news economically for the stock market, that might have, a crescendo effect on Bitcoin as well. Okay, social media giant WeChat to support China's CBDC platform, expected to boost adoption rate. China's social media, and this is the digital yuan we're talking about, of course. China's social media giant WeChat says it will support the digital yuan in a move that's expected to increase. It's expected to increase the of Chinese residents that use the central bank's digital currency. New app provides access to CBDC. If you didn't know, WeChat is kind of the biggest thing going in China, and I think Asia as well. I got this story. CBDCs in 2022. New trials in competition with crypto. Let me see if I can get rid of this down here. Confirm all, sure. Ultimately, the dominant design of CBDCs will have a tangible impact on the function and utility of money. There will be a variety of innovations behind CBDCs, financial stability and monetary policy with increased competition in payments and financial sovereignty. This is XRP right here. XRP falls in. There are questions about the motives of some central banks and governments. Really? We're going to question the motives of the government? No way. There's no way that's necessary. Private banks coming together to test pilot solutions. Let's see. They could develop, in a good scenario, positive synergies can be developed between CBDCs and the open blockchain space. Because while we do believe that there will be, CBDCs out there that will be open source. I mean, guys, let's not be fools here. We're going to be using CBDCs to spend money in the next 5 to 10 years, probably closer to 5 than 10, but in that 5 to 10 range. I don't think anything happens in the next year on this. This is a big reason why I believe we're seeing a lot of regulation that we're seeing right now when it comes to crypto in general, is they are preparing this path for CBDCs. And this is very important. This may be the most important thing I'm going to say during this entire stream. You will be using CBDCs to buy a cup of coffee.
Oh, wow.
CBDCs
at Starbucks, huh?
CBDCs at Starbucks, they will be forced to accept the digital dollar. So CBDCs are what we are going to be using. There will still be a fight for open source payment solutions. They will still exist. And down the road, that, in the beginning here, the central banks are going to win this battle. But the war is still ongoing. It's a much larger process for the war. So, all right, major Ethereum warning issued by veteran trader. Guys, I want to give you an Ethereum warning right now. I want to give you an Ethereum warning. I'm a veteran crypto trader myself. If Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum will go down with it. There you go. Boom. That's all you need to know. Peter Brandt claims that Ethereum is in a bear market as the crypto remains down 36% of its all-time high. Well, is he saying Bitcoin's in a bear market too? Because that's pretty obvious. I mean, it'd be pretty obvious that if Bitcoin is in a bear market, Ethereum would be as well. Veteran chartist Peter Brandt, who entered commodity trading in the 70s, who's also like just kind of lame in general. One of the most influential people on crypto Twitter describes the second largest blockchain as overly complicated, expensive, and awkward. He added crypto's underperformance against Solana was completely warranted because it's completely warranted for something that has the largest developer community, has been around the longest, and really created smart contracts. Completely warranted for it to be taken over by a blockchain that's been operational for less than a year. Let's think about that, people. Ethereum is in a bear trend because it's overly. I'm just gonna say it. Peter Brandt's an idiot. I just gotta say it. Peter Brandt is an idiot. The reason Ethereum would be in a bear market would have nothing to do with the fact that it's complicated, expensive, awkward platform. Like, guys, if that's the case, is he saying, like, I want you to really think of the idiocy of this argument he's making here. He's saying that it's obviously in a downtrend since November because it's complicated, expensive, and awkward. But he's saying Solana is so great and fantastic. Well, I tell you what, guys. Let's use our brains and let's go look at the Solana chart. Let's see how Solana's been doing. Oh, look, down. Follows exactly. What an idiot. Like, how can you make that connection and defend Solana against Ethereum when it hit its all-time high at exactly the same time and has been on a downtrend ever since? Like, I would be very interested to see. Now, look, I like Solana. I'm not saying anything bad about Solana, but Solana is down from its all-time high 50%. Okay, 50% from its all-time high. Let's see what Ethereum is. Peter Brandt is low IQ. He looks low IQ. He talks low IQ. He is low IQ. Solana is down, or Ethereum's down 40%. So if Ethereum is in a bear market because it's complicated, then what does that say about Solana that's down an extra 10% over Ethereum? You can't make this stuff up. So I've always thought that guy was an idiot. I think I'm supposed to stop calling people idiots, but I just can't when I just look at how ridiculously stupid this is. When you look at the clickbait of major ETH warning, and that's the, this is the thing, and then this is his argument. So I can't with these people. Okay, moving on. 5 NFT marketplaces that could topple OpenZ in 2022. So OpenZ serves as the reigning NFT marketplace in 2021, despite community criticism. Here are 5 rivals that could potentially top it in 2022. OpenZ has been the dominant decentralized platform for users looking to mint, buy, sell, and trade non-fungible tokens, serving more as an NFT aggregator than a gallery. OpenZ locked in $3.25 billion in volume for December 2021. Also, guys, don't forget to like this video. Make sure to smash that like so we can continue to get more viewers. How many people we got watching, TJ?
We have
scared to ask?
No, yeah, 9242, so almost 10,000, only 1,600 likes though. So if we could get that up closer to 5 or 6K, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, we never asked for likes. We'd probably be over 10,000 if we would have asked for likes earlier. Look, kind of wearing this beanie, like I kind of look like a homeless guy. So, pandering for likes, please. Can someone please hit the like button for me? Appreciate that. So my family can eat tonight. But in all seriousness, guys, if you're watching on mobile, make sure to X out of the live chat and then hit the like button and then come back into the live chat. If you're watching on a smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, there's 3 dots, hit more actions or more options, hit react, and then like this video. It does help more people to get in here to watch this video. It's a big ordeal when we do this live stream remote. So appreciate all you guys for tuning in on a day like today, especially when the market's down. But anyways, let's look at some of these competitors to OpenZ. Basically, OpenZ's got a lot of issues. We've talked about these since from the beginning. I've never been a huge fan of OpenZ. Certainly, we've done launches there, but we have also crashed it before. Coinbase NFT is one of these platforms. Seems to be leaning on elements of centralization, no shocker there, as a primary driver for mass adoption. Tapping into the growing popularity of NFTs, Coinbase rivals OpenZ in launching its NFT marketplace, Coinbase NFT. The wait list is 1.1 million, which is more than OpenZ's total active user base. So definitely one to watch there. Let's see. Coinbase NFTs is likely to shake up the order of things. Project has established partnerships with collections such as World of Women, Deadfellow's Lazy Alliance, I believe also a Pluto Alliance partner already.
Yep.
I think we're already approved to get listed on the Coinbase NFT marketplace. Let's see. Hasn't launched yet, yada, yada, yada. People were begging me to buy those Lazy Lions, and I never did. I should have bought them. FTX will also have their own competitor as well. We talked about how this is definitely one to watch. Rarible, which, I mean, we think is pretty lame. We don't like Rarible. Their community sucks. Just got to say it. Basically, this was the one that was before OpenZ really was moving. Rarible was moving first. We were one of the first people to launch over there, and they did not treat us well, and that's why we have a lot of issues with them. We were the #1 seller on Rarible for like 2 or 3 months, and people didn't like that because I guess they want us to be more nerdy or something. Zora, this is one to watch as well. God, we were either in this private sale or either we turned down this private sale, I believe. This is a name I haven't actually heard in quite a long time. But it presents itself as a champion for Web3, or maybe not. Maybe I covered this in a top. Maybe we were not. Maybe this was a top. I think maybe they also, no, I'm thinking of Zoracles. That's what I'm thinking of. That's a different project. So never mind. Forget everything I just said. Since DAOs tend to gravitate towards these principles, these platforms use value in historical purchases. So Zora is one I don't know much about. Magic Eden is another one that I do not know much about. It's a top NFT marketplace on the Solana network. Look, guys, these down here, Zora and Magic Eden, these are ones that are more speculative. We really have nothing to base their success on other than potential. Rarible obviously has been running in the space for a long time, but I am particularly am looking at FTX and Coinbase NFT for the two, to compete. I believe one of these will rise up and defeat OpenZ as the #1 project. Disney patents technology for a theme park metaverse. Disney about to go hard in the metaverse. Multinational entertainment giant was approved for a virtual world simulator patent during the last week of December 2021. I mean, I'm thinking like Epcot, but metaverse, right? You get to visit all the different countries, but you actually get to be there in the country.
Disney is actually who I've got tapped for the to win for best metaverse platform, even over Facebook's Meta. Like, I think I see Disney Plus and that whole platform turning into a metaverse type experience where you're going on adventures with your favorite characters. You've got kind of like, choose your own adventure books. Back in the day, you'll have choose your own adventure VR experiences and stuff through Disney with alternative timelines and all that kind of stuff. So I'm watching Disney real close when it comes to the metaverse.
Well, I mean, they have all the Marvel characters and they have all the Disney characters.
Exactly.
What that's why you think that's basically a big basis for that?
Yeah, they've
reason?
been building out universes where all these characters interact for a long time. So they've got the best IP to draw on, let alone nostalgia and, all this different stuff from parents and kids. Like, they've been mastering human psychology pretty much for the last, since they've been in existence. So I think not saying Facebook hasn't been, mastering how to manipulate humans, but I think it's going to be a battle between the two of them. But I think Disney has the best IP to draw from.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could be. It's all very interesting. I mean, I think my first thought was, I mean, when you got all the Marvel characters, a very interesting thing has happened since the pandemic has since it hit its fever pitch. Okay, which is people don't really go to movies anymore. I finally went to the movies for the first time since the pandemic began, and you know what I saw? Spider-Man, right? Okay. And that backs up what the numbers are showing. The numbers are showing that people will go to movies for characters that they already know and have a lot invested in, like, over their life. They're not going to see new movies that don't have characters we already know. So people went to go see The Matrix. People went to go see Spider-Man. People went to go see Sing 2 because there were, I don't know if is Sing Disney? I don't know if Sing's Disney or not.
I'm not sure.
But it's that, I don't know. There's another kind of big, movie company that makes kids movies, but whatever it is, the point here is that people will go see these that they already feel vested in. But the funny thing is, other types of movies are not doing well right now. And it's almost like this idea that we have no new stories. Like, people are just like, okay with that now. Like, okay, we don't have new stories. We just have characters you know and love. Let's stick with those. And so that does seem to lean very heavy in the argument you're talking about Metaverse, is that people will be willing to go join a Metaverse where they know characters and they know landscapes like the Star Wars or the Marvel. But outside of that, like, what are people going to, outside of Star Wars and Marvel movies, like, what really is there anymore?
As far as, new action movies, there's not a lot. Like you said, those are the ones everybody goes and sees. That's for sure.
Exactly. So this is a story we covered the other night. PayPal says is exploring a stablecoin after dev discovers it in code. So this was secretly released. Now it's playing a stablecoin. It got outed by a developer. For years, crypto has been hailed as a technology that would supplant centralized payment services, because it could make transactions cheaper and cut out the financial intermediary. But more and more of those legacy services are looking to incorporate crypto into their toolkits. Today, PayPal confirmed it's working on its own stable coin after a developer discovered language about a PayPal coin within its iPhone app. And I'll tell you what will be really interesting will be to see if PayPal gets attacked the same way Facebook got attacked for doing their own stable coin. But something that's different here compared to Facebook, as you guys know, PayPal already owns their own stablecoin. It is in here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. As part of its crypto strategy, it partnered with Paxos. Okay, so it doesn't own it, but it's partnered with it. I was told that basically when you hear PayPal or Paxos in crypto, your brain needs to go to PayPal because PayPal is running Paxos now. As part of its crypto strategy, it partnered with Paxos, a fintech startup that issues the Pax dollar stablecoin. USDP's market cap stands at just over 1.05 billion, up from around $500,000 last year. By contrast, USDT has a market cap of 79.2 billion. So you can see the difference between Tether and the Paxos dollar is quite significant. But PayPal's already been working with Paxos. So this is quite interesting. And it almost, I'm going to get conspiratorial with you, okay? It almost seems as if PayPal set this up on a tee for someone. Now, who would that person be? Well, that would be the SEC. We know Coinbase introduced its lend program only for it to be immediately shut down by the SEC. But we also found out that during that entire time, Coinbase and the SEC were having secret meetings. You think this was just left out? You think Coinbase was developing this in the background without telling them? No. Coinbase put this up on the tee for the SEC to come out and hammer these platforms. Nexos, Celsius, what's the other? BlockFi. Okay. It almost seems like PayPal has set this up on a tee for the SEC because this is getting leaked during a time when stablecoins are in the crosshairs of regulators more than anything we've ever seen before. So I don't know. It feels like maybe this story is a little bit of a red herring. Like maybe they're not actually developing one. So it'd be very interesting to see what the SEC has to say about this, or Congress. Because when Facebook said they were doing their own stablecoin, they had to have congressional hearings. So are we going to see that same thing with PayPal? I don't know. Very interesting to think about.
And the one interesting thing to note, I think the thing that they were most after Facebook's stablecoin was it wasn't pegged 1-to-1 with a dollar. It was basket.
Right. Basket of assets.
I imagine PayPal or Paxos will stick with the dollar. But they did say in this article to kind of give themselves out, like you said, they're saying like, oh, well, it's not official. This is part of a hackathon. So we may or may not look into this. So it is interesting.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I can't remember who it was that made the tweet that was talking about CZ talking to Elon Musk and said the world's most official richest person in the world talking to the actual richest person in the world, who is CZ from Binance.
The unofficial.
Unofficial. He's recognized as the richest person in crypto by Bloomberg. So this means he's above Sam Bankman-Fried. Wow, holy crap. Look at that number. 96 billion. And you know the thing about it? That's not even accurate. He's way richer than that. Okay, here we go. Bloomberg has estimated the net worth of CZ currently stands at a staggering 96 billion. He's now worth more than Indian business mogul Mukesh Ambani, who's 92.9. CZ is also in close proximity of such juggernauts as Warren Buffett and Zuck. Wow. Here's the key right here. Look at this. Zhao's fortune could be even bigger since little is known about his crypto holdings.
Right. So that's without the crypto. Wow.
That's without the crypto. Holy, how much do you think he's actually worth?
I mean, you got to think he's got more crypto. So, I mean,
yeah,
that would put him in the 200 billion, which would make him the richest person in the world. I mean, I think they're pushing 170, something like that, Bezos and Musk. So if he's, you got to think he's got more in crypto than he does outside of crypto, probably, but I don't know. He's got to be up there.
You would think.
You would think.
Yeah, I would think 200 to 300 billion could definitely be a possibility.
Yeah.
We had this in common. The crypto tycoon who used to work at McDonald's as a teenager. I also worked at McDonald's as a teenager.
So did Michael Saylor.
Has shied away from commenting on the size of his fortune. I wonder why. He plans to give away his entire wealth one day. Holy crap. Let's see. Oh, this is just saying Binance itself. If Binance went public, it'd be worth 300 billion, which would be 300 or 3 times what Coinbase was valued at. I think it was valued at 100 billion. Let's see. Exchange revenue reported 20 billion, dwarfing the numbers of Coinbase. Let's see. Binance questioned the accuracy. Oh, yeah, I bet they did. Let's see. Wow, look at this. Sam Bankman-Fried is worth 15.4 billion, and Brian Armstrong's worth 9 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, Elon Musk coming in at 263 billion.
Okay.
Look how much richer Elon Musk is than Jeff Bezos now.
Okay, so the Bezos
is that because he had to split his money with his wife? Is that why he's so far behind now?
Yep. Yeah, he had to give a lot in the divorce.
It was like 50%, I thought. I
think so. Brutal.
So he's still extremely rich, $188 billion. And French fashion mogul Bernard Arnault, 171 billion. A fashion mogul is $171 billion.
It is interesting you don't hear him mentioned nearly as much. They'll skip from Bezos and Musk to Gates and Buffett.
Yeah.
You'll hear the Oracle guy and a handful of other ones. The Waltons get mentioned. You don't usually hear Bernard.
Let me show you guys something extremely interesting. Oh, we're supposed to be using Presearch for this. Let me use Presearch. Presearch.com. Yeah, okay, so I was looking this up. This is just totally random. This has nothing to do with crypto. We'll end the show with this. I was looking up top chefs, like how much top chef net worths are. This is going to blow your mind.
Like celebrity chefs?
It's going to blow your mind. Yeah, well, I mean, no, just top chefs in the world. I mean, yeah, I guess, basically, but let's see, the 20 with
Gordon Ramsay types? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. Almost all the richest chefs are like have shows and stuff. Yeah, like Giada, she's worth $20 million. Okay, yada, yada, yada. But let me come down here to the bottom. We start to see how much money some of these people have. Rachel Ray's $80 million. Wolfgang Puck, almost $100 million. Gordon Ramsay, $118 million, and he's third.
Yeah, that's wild.
Jamie Oliver, $235 million. This guy used to have a show. But look at this guy. Look at this chef.
Holy, a billionaire.
A billionaire. He's a chef. That's insane.
He must have some serious restaurants.
I've never heard of this guy. He's one of the 12 founders of Hawaiian regional cuisine. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this, but he was invited to be a guest judge on the finale of Top Chef Season 2. Oh, wow, cool. But I don't know how this guy has this much money, but it can't be from cooking. A billionaire. Anyways, I just thought that was really interesting. It blew me away looking at that. But that's all we got for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We've got a TokenMetrics roundtable tomorrow for our show. We've got Richard Hart and CryptoFace on around the blockchain later today, so you guys aren't going to want to miss that. I'm actually going to be at a tailgate, so I won't be part of that. But good luck, everybody, on that show. All right, that's all I got. Be blessed. Yeah.
Real quick, we had a couple questions from the audience before we wrap it up. Have you sold all of your crypto, yes or no?
No. We haven't sold any crypto.
There you go. That's all we got.
Good boy out. Be blessed.